Assalamualaikum. Today we will be discussing about swallowing. Swallowing is also known as deglutition. It is a very complicated mechanism. It consists of three phases. Oral phase, which is voluntary. Pharyngeal phase, which is an involuntary phase. And it is the pushing of the food from the pharynx into the esophagus. And then the last phase is esophageal phase, which is the pushing of the food into the stomach. In this part, we will be discussing only about the first two phases, oral phase and the pharyngeal phase. Esophageal phase will be discussed in the next part. So, oral phase. Oral phase is the voluntary contractions of the bolus by the teeth. It is also known as the mastication. That is the breaking of the food pieces into smaller pieces. And then we come to the pharyngeal stage. Pharyngeal stage is approximately 6 seconds long. Here I have drew a diagram. So this is a diagram. It is not a detailed diagram, but just to give you a general concept. And also I have a model to discuss. Pharyngeal stage is 6 seconds long. As I have told you before, that pharyngeal stage is the pushing of the food from pharynx into the esophagus. So this is mouth, pharynx, and then this is the esophagus. So let's get started with the pharyngeal stage. When the bolus enters the mouth, it is chewed and masticated. Tongue moves upward and presses the bolus against the hard palate. So in this diagram, this is the hard palate, and over here we have the soft palate. This is the tonsil, and this is the tongue, this red color. Also, this is the hyoid bone, which is present beneath the tongue. This is the epiglottis. Also over here, this is the larynx, and this is the esophagus. Sorry, this is the trachea. And this passage, this muscular passageway, this one, is called the pharynx. Okay. So, the tongue moves upward. So we will move it upward like this. And over here we have our bolus. So it presses the bolus against the hard palate and also pushes it backward. The trickiest part of the pharyngeal stage is this part. When the bolus comes to the soft palate and to the pharynx, it has two passages to go. First into the nose and second into the esophagus. So, the route of the bolus from the hard palate will be towards the pharynx. On its journey, it will encounter the tonsils, and the area around the tonsils are called the tonsillar pillars. And these tonsillar pillars are rich in epithelial swallowing receptors. And these epithelial swallowing receptors send signals to the brainstem. So from here, through the 5th and the 9th cranial nerve, as soon as the bolus comes downward, it encounters the tonsil and the tonsillar pillars, which are rich in the epithelial swallowing receptors. These send signals to the medulla oblongata and the tractus solitarius. This is the tractus solitarius. Through the 5th and the 9th cranial nerve. 5th is also known as the trigeminal nerve and 9th is also known as the glossopharyngeal nerve. Now, the tractus solitarius is nothing but it is a structure in the brainstem which is present behind the medulla oblongata, that is posteriorly to the medulla oblongata. Tractus solitarius is present and it receives many impulses from the mouth. To regulate these events, swallowing receptor, which is composed of the pons and medulla oblongata, sends motor signals through the 5th, 9th, 10th and 12th cranial nerves to the pharynx. So these will be the motor and they will come to the pharynx. 5th, 9th, 10th and 12th. These all will be coming to the pharynx and regulating the events which will be taking place shortly. Now, the bolus has reached the pharynx and the nerves has also reached the pharynx. So, the soft palate, which is this one, will move upward. To clarify it, I will remove the nerves. I am removing these nerves. So this was the soft palate, this one. And now it will move upward. We will move it upward like this. Now it will close the posterior nares. Actually, the posterior nares are the posterior openings of the nostrils. There are external openings and the internal openings. So the internal openings are called these posterior nares. So these posterior nares are closed. This prevents the reflux of food into the nose. Now, as the soft palate has moved upward and the posterior nares have closed, the platopharyngeal folds will move medially. To understand this, I will draw a diagram. So this is at this moment we are viewing at the back of the mouth. This is the uvula. And these are the platopharyngeal folds. This is the platopharyngeal arch. This is the arch and these are the folds. Which folds? Platopharyngeal folds. So during swallowing, the platopharyngeal folds will move medially and form a sagittal slit. This is very important in regulating the size of the bolus which we can swallow. Through this slit, only a suitable size of bolus will be swallowed. This is the reason that we cannot eat whole apple or we cannot swallow whole apple at once. But first we have to masticate it and then send down the suitable bolus down the pharynx. These will move medially. As you can see in this image, that over here we have the uvula and these are the platopharyngeal folds. These spaces, this space is known as the platopharyngeal arch. So these move medially during the swallowing. These platopharyngeal folds move medially during swallowing.